Let's do
time,
it, man.
baby. Oh,
Back-to-back nights, man.
God
How often
damn.
does that happen?
Right.
Man,
Permissionship was
back-to-back
signed,
nights.
sealed, and delivered, man. Wife said, "No, you good. You good. You Gucci. You go ahead. Do your thing." All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much.
I said the same thing, bro. I
Man.
think we dipped into the right pool at the same time.
Yes, sir.
But I've been married just a slight bit longer than you have. But enough about us, man. It's Tuesday night prime time, 8:00. Well, 8:11. We just a little bit behind because you know your boy got to get his grub on. And after all that
Facts.
news that dropped today, man, sometimes you got to eat and laugh to keep from crying.
Man.
Before we get into that Lamar Jackson situation, man, we got a very special guest tuned in tonight, man, joining us. If y'all know him, y'all see the name on the screen, man. If y'all follow us on Twitter, y'all follow us on any social media platform, y'all know that name. And he's one of the top Falcons insiders, in my opinion.
Ooh, absolutely.
He breaks news. He does great work. But Alberto, man, I'll let you introduce me, and then I'll let him tell a little bit about himself.
Absolutely, man. What a gem of guest we got today, Smitty. Very honored to share this platform with Daniel Flick, man. Sports Illustrated contributor, 404 Falcon podcast contributor also, man. This young man has incredible attributes, man. Does a lot for the Falcons community with the breakdowns of films, the news, just great thoughts, great overall everything, man. Daniel Flick, welcome to the 95 North Sports Machine. We're humbled and honored to have you on. The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, glad to be here, man. Appreciate that glowing intro.
Absolutely.
Felt a little rich for me. Felt a little bit, a little something for me, but
well deserved.
I appreciate that. Yeah, glad to be here, guys. Pumped.
Yeah, man. As
and
you know, man.
Sports Illustrated, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if they still got that Meg Thee Stallion cover on there.
I told you. Yeah.
I told you I would get ignorant in a second, boy. But
shoot, man.
Go ahead, Alberto.
No. You good, man. Hey, so tonight's show, man, we were supposed to deliver some breakdown of these incredible prospects that we have coming into this 2023 draft. We have to pivot a little bit because there's a lot of news definitely coming out of Atlanta. 4:00 hour, of course, came and went. Caleb McGarry didn't get tagged. We'll touch on that a little bit later on. But the major news is the Falcons at that same time coming out and saying they are not in the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes, kind of leaving us all to wonder, where do the Falcons go from here? They really haven't committed to Daniel. Daniel. I'm over here thinking about this young man over here. To Desmond Ridder. So I ask you, Daniel, what do you know? What do you feel? What's the growing sense on this topic? Where do you see the Falcons going now that they are officially out of the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes?
You know, it's a tricky deal, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, the way that I feel like it's going to play out is that Ridder's going to have probably a step up in the competition, but I'm going to guess they're going to sign a bridge option in the offseason, and maybe kind of like as a challenger for Ridder is how I would view it. But I think they want Ridder to have a chance to start and have a chance to prove himself. Because I feel like they saw a lot of encouraging signs out of him last year in that 4-game stretch. They felt like he progressed in a really good way each week. And so I think they're going to let him have a shot this offseason, but at the same token, they can't just I think they're going to want a veteran option there, like a Jacoby Brissett type of player, whether it's him, we'll see, but somebody in that build who's a proven starter who can win you games. So if Ridder's not the guy, you still have a competent option. The fun option that has been floated is trading up, whether it be to number 1 to number 3.
Oh boy.
That's what some people have talked about. I haven't really heard a lot of that yet. We're still pretty early in that process, though, of course. So we'll see where it goes from there. That might be a better question for about a month from now. But right now, the way that I feel and some of the people I've talked to around the league kind of feel like Ridder might get the nod. But it really kind of is a little too close to call at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I've heard the last couple of days, Ryan Tannehill isn't going to be available. He's going to stay in Tennessee. So now I'm thinking if it's a veteran option, Could we see a deal for Jimmy G if he doesn't go to Las Vegas? It's possible because let's be real, man. A second-year quarterback with a third-year head coach, the dynamics don't add up. Now, if it was third-year quarterback, third-year coach, dynamics are perfect. But since your job may be on the line, and as my boy Titus said, Arthur Blank has thrown hints that this could be it if they finish another 7-10 or a little bit lower. That could mean the end. And I saw the end. To me, I could have seen the end at the end of last season going 7-10, but I understand you're going to give them a fair chance after the cap here to get the team back in the right direction, get the cap number over for the first time in God knows how long. 50 plus million, $60+ million now in cap space. So they really don't have an excuse. And now that Lamar seems to be out of the picture, but I'm not counting it yet because, as I say, until I see Desmond Ritter line up week 1, I'm not going to believe it just yet.
Right.
But as I look at it, are they going to spend that $50 million that we think they were going to spend on Lamar? Will they go after 2 or 3 defensive free agents? Will they go after a veteran quarterback with half of that money? It just remains to be seen. But I do know after this news today with Lamar Jackson, man, and the rumors we got last week, we did a show on it. Are they going to move up to number 1? With a quarterback like C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, are they the target now? It just all of this is just anchoring and teetering towards them making a big splash one way or the other, whether we like it or not.
Yeah. So, Daniel, that begs the question, seeing as you was a contributor at the NFL Combine, you was firsthand seeing all these, elite performers. Is there a name that sticks with you as far as in the quarterback position for our Atlanta Falcons that you would like to see fit?
Yeah, we didn't get to see Bryce Young work out, which is a bit of a bummer. But I left the Combine workout feeling like C.J. Stroud could start tomorrow in the NFL.
Wow.
Like I felt like his ball placement, his feel, he's about as natural as it gets, I feel like, out of college. And, Smitty, you were talking about how you might have to win. Arthur Smith might have to win next year. I don't think his seat's necessarily that hot, but you don't really want to risk it either. And Stroud, I think, has a really good balance of upside. And also still, like I said, he could probably start tomorrow. Bryce, I think Bryce is also, I think, a very valid candidate, but keep it on the topic of the Combine. I didn't get to see him throw live, but I know that, a lot of people feel like Bryce and CJ, one way or another, could be the top 2 picks right now. That's kind of where a lot of people feel like it's trending. But again, we're still 50 days away and a lot of pro day stuff to go. A lot of people that I've talked with have prospects who are like rounds 4, round 3. They don't really know where their guys' stock's going to end up. And of course, it's the same at the top of the class too.
Yeah. So does the rumored compensation to trade up to number 1 not scare you at all? The rumor is so far, it'd be a 1 and a 2, and then I believe a 1 next year and a 1 in 2025, exclusively giving 3 first-round picks for such said quarterback CJ Stroud. You're okay with that as a Falcons fan?
Yeah. So hear me out. This is a personal theory. This is a personal take on my belief.
Got it.
If you're gonna endorse Lamar Jackson for the price you're gonna pay him, say they traded for him on the non-exclusive tag, right? You're giving up 2 first-round picks and you're paying him $50 million. If you feel like Bryce Young and CJ Stroud have a chance to be a Lamar Jackson MVP type of player, or even just a top 5, top 10 caliber quarterback, like what Lamar is at his best, right? You're paying Bryce or CJ $25-30 million less in the next 4 years for ideally a similar level of play. And again, that's always the risk, right? Is the guy, I guess, would you rather draft a guy who you think can be Lamar Jackson or just draft Lamar Jackson? And obviously you're not getting the same play style as Lamar Jackson, but as far as caliber tier of players, then it's kind of similar. But on that front, considering that rookie quarterbacks, even at number 1 with as pricey as the contracts are for a top pick, you're still getting a pretty good value for a guy who could pretty easily be a top 10, top 15 quarterback in the next year or two. So
wow. And I agree with that 100%. And I'm glad you took that angle because I'm gonna add to that right quick.
That's knowledge right there, bro.
We talk about these young quarterbacks are moving up for them. If I'm Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, this gives me more ammo to go out to Justin Fields. And here's why. If you're going to move up for one of those top quarterbacks, why not go with a guy that's been in the league 2 years already? That's on the upside. You saw him run for 1,000 yards last season. He showed a little bit of more poise in the pocket. He threw the football just a little bit more than he did his rookie year. And why not go out to Justin Fields instead of going out to a rookie quarterback and have to start all over again? Justin Fields will fit this system just like Lamar Jackson would. CJ Stroud, like y'all said, he can probably start tomorrow. So why not give the Bears an opportunity to see what he can do with the $114 million that they have in the bank? So it's just something to think about, man. If you're going to go out to a young quarterback, why not go out to a quarterback that's been in the league 2 years already?
Yeah,
that has more experience than the quarterback that you already have. It just makes more sense. $4 million this year and probably $17 million in his fifth-year option, which is not much compared to these quarterbacks and what they're making. So it's just something to think about. And I think they're pondering it as well. They're just not going to say anything.
Right.
I still think they're looking at Justin Fields, even though Chicago says he's not going anywhere. If you get them 3 first-round picks, you think they're not going to bite on that? Come on, man. Let's be real about it.
Yeah. But at this point, does Justin Fields have enough under him to warrant 3 first-round picks? I say more, a trade package of a couple 2s, 3, maybe something like that, because he's only been in the league. This is going to be his 3rd year, which also leads to another speculation. The Falcons now are pivoting, so to say. Attention's away from Lamar Jackson. What's Atlanta's next succession plan? Are we going to go all into this free agency and build for Desmond Ridder? Or like Smitty was saying, are we going to now look at a guy like Justin Fields, if that was the target all along, and we just use Lamar as a smoke and mirror type thing? So, Daniel, I asked you the chances of a Justin Fields coming to Atlanta, the probability on that.
Before you get started, Daniel, before you get started, I just learned this today, and this is not out of the question. We have a lot of cap space. Jerron Payne is non-exclusive as well. Would you go 2 first-round picks for him? That is something that I'm going to ponder for until he signs that contract, until somebody makes a deal for him. That still could be on the Falcons table, and the reason why they are not going out to Lamar Jackson, because they are still looking at Jerron Payne possibly. But we'll see. But go ahead, Dan.
So the topic of Fields we're talking about, right? Is a question. Yeah. Want to make sure it was that, not Payne. Fields, I would love to see him in Arthur Smith's offense. I think schematically it's a great fit. From what we've heard, though, it doesn't seem like Chicago is interested in getting him, which is obviously a pretty big hang up. So on that front, I don't think it's very likely that he ends up being in Atlanta. Just because it takes 2 to tango, and I don't think Chicago really wants to tango. You think about other options out there, like a Trey Lance type of player. I'm not sure Chicago, or I'm not sure San Francisco knows what they're gonna, roll out with Trey Lance next year. So, the veteran trade market, since the Titans are probably keeping Tannehill, I don't think the veteran trade market at quarterback is really on the table right now.
Right.
But again, we'll see in the coming weeks, but I wouldn't really expect them to really look too hard at the trade market, unless Fields becomes available. In which case, maybe they'll look into it, right? Yeah. Maybe they'd consider, but for now, I'm not sure that he'll really ever reach that point, or at least he's off anyway. So,
agreed. Now, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I see y'all in the comments saying that 2 first-round picks is too much for a Jerron Payne. But if he's going to change the interior line, how is that too much? You look at the edge rusher position in this draft is deeper than the hallway leading from the White House to the Lincoln Memorial. That's just how deep this edge rush draft is, man. So if they can get another edge rusher or two going into this draft, that would be fine. But if you get a Deron Payne to go along with a Grady Jarrett, you see Lorenzo Carter is coming back on the Ebiketie is still here. D'Angelo Malone may get more reps this year. Why not do it? That is part of your problem right there, defensive line. So, like I keep telling y'all, man, y'all got to stop reading to all these draft picks, man. If y'all can get a guy that can come in and change the culture of this team, the culture of this defense, why not do it right now? Why keep waiting? Because guess what? The NFL draft is a 50-50 crapshoot. I keep telling y'all that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, all first rounders ain't a guarantee.
And I'm not going to, boo-boo on Jalen Carter, but what if he comes in and he can't do the job that y'all drafted him to do? Then what? We back at square one again.
Right.
Why not go after something that's proven already? That's all I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all got to think deeper than what's in the draft. You got to go for right now, right then. I'm telling you, Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot is going to have that mindset. We got to win right now, no matter what it takes. And that means getting rid of some of the fan favorites. If y'all don't like it, oh well. It's about winning.
Yeah,
so
at the end of the day.
Stop falling in love with draft picks. Stop falling in love with players and start thinking about winning. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna go a little bit step further and say with this one right here, right quick, Smitty. I know Deron Pay is he's unbelievable. 11 sacks this past year, unbelievable season. But it's kind of a breakout season for him. I'm looking at a different alternative, a guy in Denver. After much looking over tapes and stuff like that, and I got to shout out Damsky and the boys at Audio Falcon Mind. They had a show on the other day, and Damsky brought up a great point. The win rate percentage for Deron Payne is not as high as a lot of people think, meaning how he wins his battles in the trenches against the opposing linemen. Not as great. Right. And in looking back, damn, that's a goddamn good point, man, because he was stuffed on a lot of plays, man. A lot of his sacks came on, you don't want to call them garbage time sacks. You don't, because every sack in the NFL is hard earned, man. So they just kind of have that feel where they were just at last minute, a last minute sack, so to say. I say all that to say this. Monday night, legal tampering period starts. I'm looking for Atlanta to go ahead and sign Draymond Jones. I think that's the kid paired with Grady Jarrett can take this defense to a whole nother level. Draymond Jones, truth be told, 32 to 36 sacks since he's been drafted in 2016. He's been a baller on the line for Denver, has played with greats. He did it pretty much all alone last year. They got rid of Shelby Harris, the pass rusher that went to Miami, and then he became Bradley Chubb. He became that guy. I'd rather invest in a young cat like that, 26 years of age still. And I know what I'm going to get out of him week in and week out without top tier talent surrounding him. He's a guy that can probably anchor the defensive line on his own, but he comes into a luxurious position where he'll have Grady Jarrett to work with, along with AK-47 and newly signed Zoe Carter and all the other guys that we're going to probably add in free agency. I would probably reserve the picks and just go straight out for Draymond Jones. That's my take on that position there.
Yeah. Draymond is, in my personal opinion, he's probably one of the top 5 defensive linemen, period, in the draft class or free agent.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And so anytime you get a chance to add a player like that, obviously it's something that you should heavily consider. You got him, you got Tomlinson from the Vikings. I think he's probably in the mix there.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Oh, man. Smitty, you've been talking about him for forever.
Oh, yeah.
Truth be told, man.
It's got to be a balanced guy. I think that's the thing, is if you're going to spend big money on a defensive lineman, it's got to be a guy that you feel like can be a 3-down player. They talked about Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot talked about it in their end of season presser about how you've got to be able to stop the run with 4, rush the passer with 4, and obviously every team wants that. If you feel like you have foundational pieces there with Jarrett inside, and I guess Ebiketie maybe can improve and ascend into maybe being that type of guy next year. If you can add one more piece like Jones inside, then I feel like that gives you a really good chance then to just kind of keep on ascending into where you can stop throwing with 4, rush the passer with 4. Then you get to where you can drop 7 into coverage and you can, just mess around and get a little bit freaky with it in the secondary. So there's I feel like Draymond, if they're going to commit big money somewhere on the defensive line, I feel like Draymond is certainly a very valid option. I would say that. I think he's a very valid candidate. I'm not sure how interested they are. I haven't really around about Draymond, but I would imagine that he's certainly a guy that they've considered.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Definitely. Yeah, man. Definitely wasn't tagged today.
Another guy that was released today, Donovan Smith, offensive tackle from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about and see, this is why I said what I said about Lamar. If you get a guy like Lamar, you could get a whole lot of talent to come along with it. Imagine you couldn't Donovan Smith. He says, I'm going to go to Atlanta with Lamar, block for him. A guy like Draymond Jones, we say he's going to get $17 million just to play with Lamar. He might take 12 or 13. See, this is the type of effect that a superstar player has on the team.
Right.
This is what I want y'all to understand. No, I'm not hurt about Lamar not being here, but I'm still kind of skeptical as to what they're going to do in place of that. Now, if they can go out and get another superstar defender and he can have the same type of effect, I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, it's about winning football games and putting the best players on the field. And I think Lamar gave them that best chance to bring in more talent to win more football games. This is the only reason why I said Lamar made sense from the get-go. Yeah. So that's why it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna add to that one real quick, Smitty, if you don't mind.
Okay, before you
go ahead,
add to that,
go ahead.
I'm going when Alberto finishes what he has got to say. I'm gonna drop the link and I'm gonna let y'all chime in.
Yeah. So another thing, you know, of course, talking about this Lamar Jackson situation and stuff, I thought the connection was valid all throughout, and I don't know if y'all caught wind of it, but Rich Eisen had some words to say on his show, and it kind of plummeted Desmond Ritter's stock a little bit, where he said there was zero buzz at the combine about the Falcons liking Ritter. So that to me says a little bit more that there's something brewing in Atlanta. And of course, as private as Atlanta is as an organization, they're not going to say anything. But then again, Smitty, you've touched on this so many times. Somebody within the camp is leaking stuff out, giving us, you know, content creators, media, whomever, stuff to talk about. Daniel, you were there. Did you hear any rumblings, anything like that? Was there much said about our quarterback right now, Desmond Ridder? What can you elaborate on that? What can you say about that?
I feel like saying there was no buzz at all twice is a little bit excessive. I will say that.
That was Rich Eisen, for the record. He's the one on record saying that.
Right. There was a little bit of talk about Dez, I feel like. And you know, the more that I've talked with people, the more that I feel like we've gained the sense that there are people around the league, especially on more the player personnel side, that do believe that Ridder can start next year, or will start next year, or at least is firmly in the mix for it. Again, saying that there was no buzz at all, I think is a little bit harsh. I
agree.
At the same token, though, there's been so much quarterback stuff just flying around, whether it be Lamar, and everyone's like, well, the Falcons, like, I mean, there was a report today that said the Falcons were, I think, you know, closing a bunch of ground with the Ravens on a Lamar trade, and that proved to be completely wrong. Right. So I frankly, a lot of people are kind of just throwing stuff against the wall and hoping it sticks when it comes to Atlanta's quarterback stuff. It's the same thing that happened last year with Watson, really.
Yeah.
I personally think that Ridder has an advantage looking ahead as the 2023 starter, but that's, again, we're still in the early part of the process, but that's where I would lean right now. If I were a betting man, which once upon a time, maybe, but if I were a betting man or still a betting man, I would probably pick Ridder.
Got it.
Well, it seems like he might win that bet this time around. Absolutely. But Matty Ghost put in a super chat.
Oh man,
throw it out there, and Big Low not here tonight, so y'all can chill out. But he said, "Do y'all think we can still pursue Lamar Jackson, but playing hardball, and they don't want to commit the guaranteed money?" And that's what Daniel was just talking about, and Alberto was talking about. It's one thing to put out a lot of guaranteed money, but Lamar Jackson is one of those investment is a guaranteed return on that money. So,
yeah,
that's a tough question, Matty. Goes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I would say it's not over till it's over, until somebody signs him, trades for him, or he goes back to Baltimore. That is the only way we're gonna know that that's not true. They can say they're not pursuing him. They can tell the media that. They can tell in the outlet that. But we are not sitting in the war room. We're not sitting in the owner suite. We're not sitting in none of that, hearing those conversations. Somebody leaked that stuff as to where Lamar was going to come here. And it's just, it's going to be out there until he signs with someone. I'm going to just put it like that. And I'm going to leave it like that. So, but Alberto, go ahead while I set this up so I can put it in the chat.
Yeah. So Daniel, we and you, we talked a little bit off air before we went live and stuff like that. And I had asked the question: how much is this also has that has to do with Lamar not having an agent? He's representing himself. What does the NFLPA? How do they step in and help in a situation like this? Because ultimately, it's all about fairness. And do they actually put a price tag on what they feel Lamar's worth? Do you suspect?
Not really. I mean, the NFLPA recently endorsed Lamar and came out and said, like, no, you're fighting the good fight. So I don't think the NFLPA is really pushing back on Lamar at all. I think it's actually probably the opposite. I think an interesting point about this all is that people feel like the Browns overstepped the line last year with the Watson, fiasco. And
agreed, 100%.
Big money that they committed to him with all that was going on there. And there was somebody that I respect that said today that it's owners pushing back on what Haslam and the Browns did with Watson last year. It is like, we're not going to pay that much money, guaranteed money at that. And so I think Lamar, frankly, on a bigger deal, it looks kind of like a bad picture for the NFL because it's like players are like, we need the guaranteed money, and the front office is like, we can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's turning in a bad direction, but I don't think the NFLPA is at all upset with Lamar. I will say that, yeah.
Yeah, and I see people saying, the owners are trying to stop guaranteed contracts. At some point that in the future, they're going to have to honor guaranteed contracts like the NBA and Major League Baseball to keep this thing going, because you talk about guys that only lasting 2 and 3 years, spend their money on recovery such as CTE, knee injuries, arm, shoulder injuries. They're spending their retirement money on surgery to keep themselves afloat, healthy, and trying to stand upright. So they're going to have to honor this sooner or later, if you want me to be real about it. So no matter how much they collude on trying to get rid of guaranteed contracts, it's not going to happen. They're going to have to guarantee these contracts sooner or later.
One way or another.
So this is a gladiator sport, man.
Right.
Your next play could be your last play. So
absolutely,
come on, man. But man. I got to welcome my boy, man, Mr. Twisted Torch, man.
Yes, sir.
He's finally joining us on the sports machine, man. I've been trying to get him on for a while.
Absolutely.
Y'all, please go to Twisted Torch on YouTube. Follow him. He puts out great Falcon content. And he's been supporting for a very, very long time. But the chat is blowing up.
It definitely is.
Like Wendy Williams wig on stage. And
hey, Twisted Torch, man. Hold up. Twisted Torch, you got to talk loud enough so the folks in the back can hear you, right? Just like you say.
Hold on. Turn me up for the people in the background, man.
Oh, yeah.
Turn me up for the people in the background.
Let's go, man.
Let me show some respect to the OG first off, man. Show some respect to Smitty, man. The first person I saw on YouTube. The first person. Great Falcons content. Brought on the young bull, Mr. Roberto. Appreciate you, my brother. I follow you on Twitter, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, brother.
On my page. Shouts out.
Man. Yeah, man. Definitely, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Content, great content. Mr. Daniel, hold on. I didn't forget you, player. I know who you are. I know who you are, mister.
Yeah. You left out for a minute. Yeah.
Great content, man. Great content, man. Shouts out to your articles, man. I look forward to seeing more great content from you in the future. Best believe it. I do be checking in. So shouts out to you as well.
I appreciate you, family.
We gonna welcome on this guy named Damon, man. He does Atlanta Hawks basketball, man. Great job, always does live stream. We're gonna welcome him on right fast. The first question that he has, our boy Twisted Torch gonna answer that first question.
Hey,
Damon, what's up, man?
What's up to you, man?
What's up, fam?
Hey, man. I be following y'all, listening to y'all, man. My football my football knowledge on the Falcons, it's not as deep as it is like I do on the Hawks.
See, that's why we got you, because we the same way as vice versa. That's why we got you.
I could talk Hawks forever. But my question is this, guys, and excuse my ignorance, because I ain't a super duper, down in the trenches like y'all are.
Cool.
Couple points or questions rather with Lamar Jackson. Do y'all feel maybe Lamar and his camp, even though I know he's his own agent, you don't think he could be using the Falcons as leverage against the Ravens? Because I don't really think Lamar really wants to leave Baltimore. But I think, he probably could be using us as leverage. That's just something I'm just throwing out there. And also, years and years, I'm a lifetime Falcon fan. Past 5 years, we have been complaining about not having cap space, moving money here, moving money there, not going after Lamar. Could that be the Falcons maybe being cap responsible? After all these complain about the Julio contract, the Matt Ryan contract. Personally, I would love for us to re-sign Caleb McGarry, somebody we drafted, developed.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Didn't franchise him, so I'm hoping Fontenot and them working something in the background. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, man. I ain't deep like a football guy like y'all are.
Hey, man.
Nah, that's cool, man. Yeah, throw that out there, man.
Quick, man. You got to.
Hey, man, come through, man. Shout out my boy Dwayne P in the chat. Hey, come. We Talk Hawks TV, man. Listen, come talk to us. We live every post game. I'm a diehard Hawks fan.
He ain't lying.
Been a Hawks fan for over 35 years, and I'm tired of the BS we got going on right now. But hey, come tap in. We have fun.
Definitely.
It's crazy. So salute to the channel. Shout out Smitty. Shout out everybody up here, man. Appreciate y'all knowledge on the game, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. Be safe out there.
Appreciate you.
That's what I'm talking about. Twist the torch. What you got for us, man?
Well, one thing I'm gonna say is, I don't think Terry Fontenot, GM Terry Fontenot, is gonna put any cards on the table. Based on what happened last year with Deshaun Watson, he's not gonna put his foot out there without it actually going down, respectfully. And knowing Lamar Jackson, so I like his question. Knowing Lamar Jackson, he could be using us as leverage, but we do have a big market. We are closer to home. We are in a dome. He doesn't have to deal with cold weather. He can throw a lot better in the dome. He can play a lot faster in the dome. So there's potential in the A. There's more superstars in the A. There's better players in the A, respectfully. I'm talking about baseball, basketball, better teams, soccer. Let's be real. And the women, respectfully, I don't think he's married. So the women is here in the A. Let's talk respectfully now.
Hey, lower your voice, man. We married.
My bad. I'm just saying. There's so much here in Atlanta. Man. It's a big market, man. Lamar Jackson can bring players with him. So I don't think it's just leverage.
You say that all the time, bro.
I don't think it's just leverage.
What you thinking about? What you think, Daniel? What you think, Daniel? You think they lose? You think he's using it as leverage?
I think, honestly, in a way, it's kind of the opposite, almost. In a way, the Ravens are using the tag as kind of leverage. Because I feel like, in a sense, kind of like what you're seeing now is it's people who are – everyone's reporting XYZ team is out on Lamar. Maybe it's the Ravens' way of showing Lamar, hey, nobody else wants to pay you that much money either. So I think it's a little bit of both, and I think that's why negotiations have gone out so much and why there really hasn't been much ground made is because I think Lamar probably is trying to use the Ravens and the Ravens are trying to use Lamar. And so it's a really weird situation for sure. I tend to think that the Ravens probably won the first match today with what happened with all these dropping out of the Lamar race. I think the Ravens right now and pretty much a pretty commanding lead for the Ravens actually in that race right now. But I see the argument for the leverage. I just think the Ravens have it more so now.
And think about the team that are out already. We talk about our Atlanta Falcons, Miami Dolphins, who have quarterback issues with Tua, Panthers, who have Sam Darnold, who couldn't hit the side of a barn with a bar of soap, the Washington Commanders, who just cut Carson Wentz, the Raiders, who just lost Derek Carr and maybe looking at Jimmy G. But think about those 5 teams. All of them need a quarterback one. So something is not right. Something is just not adding up. Are all of them behind the scenes going out to one player, or they just throwing their hands all in and just gonna roll with what's out there? It's just gonna be interesting to see.
Well, a couple of them have top 10 picks, and you got 3 to 4 QBs
Yeah.
that can go in the top 15. So that's also leverage for the teams. So hey, you want 240, 250 guaranteed? We got young players that we can wait 4 years to pay them again. I'm just saying that's potential too. We got to keep that in mind.
Right.
Bingo.
Bridget said, man, they come up with that list so fast, makes no sense. Hey, Bridget, I'm telling you, man, these people not playing. They something about guaranteed money just give folks shivering. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But before we keep going, man, Gregory Brown said he's working on a custom pair of Air Force Ones. He wants us to check them out. He gonna send it to the poster when we done. Greg, we gonna check them things out, man. Just
absolutely, man.
Post it on Twitter or post it on my Facebook page. We have
Unction.
let me see, what's Chris? Chris jumped out. We had Chris and he jumped out. But we're gonna welcome Uncle Steve to the show.
Absolutely.
He's back in the parking lot in that mail truck with the 4 flat tires. He's just chilling.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
All right, Uncle.
Hey,
what's going on, Uncle?
Don't think I've ever had the pleasure. Twisted, good to see you in there, brother. I always see your stuff hanging out there. And Brother Daniel, good to hear you as well.
Appreciate you, brother.
I just wanted to step in real quick, man, and I want to, for a quick second, speak from those who have circulated this Falcons atmosphere for 30, 40 plus years. And I don't speak for everybody. I'm speaking for.
Well, I'm at 30 myself, so you talking to me too. So let me I'm up there, but go ahead.
Let me explain why people wanted. I don't want to say quick fix, but it is the quick fix. Let me tell you why. In this franchise history, we've skirted over the fact that we have never really taken chances in this organization. We let Deion Sanders go in the early 1990s. We let Brett Favre, and the Brett Favre thing has an asterisk by it because he was drunk and he didn't act right. We didn't take chances over these last couple of decades. I understand when everyone says cap hell and oh my God, we've never done that. Let's take a chance just once and see what happens. And I think what bothers me is the same people who complained about Rankin Smith and their ownership, the same folks are turning around and getting upset when you hear about going for Lamar Jackson. Now, again, I don't want to give an outrageous amount of money for guaranteed money. I'm not that foolish. But I am saying to those who are celebrating today because you're happy with mediocrity right now, if you're happy with that, I say congratulations to you. I'm not going anywhere as a Falcon fan, but I am taking receipts because everyone out there who says in this live that says winner or bust, and then you're going to get mad because his talent level doesn't match what you need in the NFL. I want to go back and just revisit that, Smitty. I want to take these tapes. I want to find those folks and just see.
We've been talking about this since August, though. Since August.
Yeah. This is not anger. This is just I'm paying attention.
Yep.
Because everyone that's just so ready to tell me that Ritter is ready to be a quarterback here, I just want to be able to say have that same energy in Game 6 if we're under 500. Have that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna just put out a tweet, simple tweet. I'm gonna put out, and we're gonna say, "Shut up." That's it. Shut up.
Hey, man. Truth be told, that's great that you brought that up, man. And you know, when's the last time we had a winning season? We talk about this a lot.
2017.
It's been 5 or 6 years that we've been in the rabbit hole, so to say, man. God damn it, the time is now. Like Uncle Steve's saying, take chances. Why not go and get a superstar? And everybody's so worried about, oh, Cap held this, Cap held that. Do you guys need to be reminded who was our GM beforehand? It was Thomas Dimitroff. He was handing out Falcon for life contract like Oprah does cars on her show. Everybody was getting one in their mother. You feel me? So listen, we have a smarter, we have a smarter organization now that I don't think these guys are going to go down that route to learn from those previous experiences. And what did Dimitroff elect not to do a lot of the times? Not be competitive, not use those contracts, all those inflated contracts, and refinance off of them. And that's one topic we always talk about. We can stay competitive within this market. All we got to do is contractually go to the gentleman that has the highest, cap room or cap number and say, hey, we're going to turn that into a signing bonus. It opens up the cap for that year to spend money. The time is now. We got to take advantage of the time now. It's a weakened NFC South, man. And what are we doing?
I'm going to throw out this question, and I'm glad you said that. If not Lamar, everybody in the panel right now, if not Lamar, y'all throw out another name out there that can come in right away and carry this team on their back and bring in more superstar players that we can spend a whole boatload of money on. Because you're going to spend money either way.
Right.
I don't care what it is. Either way. Yeah, free agency, who in free agency, or that's on the non-exclusive tag that you can bring in right away and can bring players with them. I wait.
It's only Lamar Jackson, to be honest. I mean, because if you don't get Lamar Jackson, you're spending 45 to 50 million on defense. And so, I mean, I don't see defense bringing other players. Quarterbacks bring players. Quarterbacks bring dynamic players. I mean, you can get Khalil Mack. We can see about that. You can get Patrick Peterson. You can see if you don't go for Lamar Jackson, like you said, try with Payne. But at the end of the day, man, they still not coming for them. They coming for Lamar.
And look at that record though.
Bates, I'm sorry, Bates too. My bad, Bates too.
Yeah, Bates is out there too, man.
This is the main reason why I want Lamar. Look at the record.
Yeah, I got
16.
I gotta say something right quick. I came up
with
a comment there. This comment right here. Hey, Hillman, man, appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you always supporting the channel. But Thomas Dimitroff didn't guide us there. We all know that was Shanny. We all know that was Kyle Shanahan. Mastermind as a play caller, definitely had all the pieces in Atlanta to just make it to where we did, to the pinnacle, to the Super Bowl. So that's more on Kyle Shanahan than it was Thomas Dimitroff, man. But
definitely both coordinators. I mean, even
facts,
in
man.
2012.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic, man. Thomas Dimitroff compared to Fontenot is a big difference. A big difference. Free agency. We're really finna see how he can sway players to come here. I think we're gonna look at some of these Saints players. Unfortunately, the safety from the Eagles. I don't know why you did that to our Falcons.
Man, that logo stomp, man. Oh, bro.
Remember that? But that motherfucking play, I must say, 6 interceptions, ball hawk. Oh my God!
They come in here humble though. They ain't gonna have a job. They come in here humble.
Yeah, we got the bread. He know what's up. And Terry Fontenot once again is paired with him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta split out of here. I did want to just point out one thing, Alberto, when you said about the Falcons haven't had a winning record since 2017. Let me elaborate further. We haven't been over 500 since 2017. We haven't even been 1-0. We haven't even been 2-1. So when you hear the frustration, and I'm not here to suggest that Desmond Ridder will never turn into that guy. But if you're sitting here waiting for development, we're going to be 7-10 and 7-10 and 7-10 over and over and over again. You can get all the defensive help you want to, but you better improve the number one position in North American sports, and that's the quarterback position.
Right.
I'll holler at y'all later on, okay?
All love, man. Thank you.
Y'all go check out Uncle Steve Lounge on YouTube, man. He does his thing with Falcons content. Does the aftermath on Mondays. So y'all please go check him out. We got Chris in the chat room who's been waiting for a minute. Left right came back in, but we're gonna get his question and then we're gonna move on to the next.
Yeah, we're gonna move on with Danny. Danny, we'd like to get your thoughts more on what's going on also, man. There's a lot going on.
Chris, you got a question for us?
When will Stetson Bennett ever come to my Falcons? Because we need a fast quarterback like him with speed.
Who you say, Stetson Bennett?
You said Stetson Bennett? No, I think Stetson, he's still a day 3 quarterback. Now, one thing I like is his attitude to win. That can be contagious, but his intangibles, his tools, his measurables, it's just not going to measure up to what GMs and coaches are looking for. And you can't measure hard. I say that all the time. But he's going to have to get out on the field and prove once he gets to the NFL that he can hang. They're not just going to take it off, NFL combine workouts. And we're going to talk about that with Daniel in a second. But sometimes the measurables don't help. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And in Stetson's case, I don't think they would help.
One thing I do want to add about Stetson, I've been able to talk with people who've trained with him, and they've said really good things about his character.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not. You got to expect that, Danny, man. Our folks, they catch us off guard, man.
I keep thinking about that police car chasing him while he was doing his 40-yard dash.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Man. There was somebody earlier that said he was wearing a referee's uniform, throwing flags at Mariota's house, and I thought.
Oh man!
Yeah, though, I've talked with the people who played against Stet, and a lot of people are like, "Yeah, I hate the guy." So what I've gathered is that it's fun to play with him or train with him, and not a whole lot of fun to play against him. With that being said, you are 100% right. He probably won't be drafted till round 6, round 7, maybe round 4, probably in the draft's third day is what if I had to guess. So, solid back. I think.
And I think he ends up in New England, to be honest, because one thing about Belichick, he loves cerebral type quarterbacks. Sometimes the two don't have to measure up. Just as long as you got that football IQ, that's what he's looking for. That's how he found Tom Brady.
Facts.
Yeah.
But Chris, you got another question before we get out of here? Before you get out of here?
When will we get a new quarterback?
That's still yet to be determined. We'll keep that on hold. But thank you for joining us as always, Chris. Appreciate it, my brother.
All right, young dude.
Our boy Chris, always joining us, man, doing this thing, man, supporting the sports machine. Truly appreciate it. Man. But before we get to Aaron, another guy, Aaron Deal 82, if you don't know him from the chat. But Big Low said y'all done piss Uncle off. Ain't nobody getting no mail tomorrow. And he might just be right about that. Because you can't piss off the mail, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, man.
Hey, them checks coming out, man. IRS, man. You can't piss the middleman off.
I don't know, man. That's for sure.
Taxes on the way.
Oh, shit, man.
But go ahead, Alberto, what you had to say before we get to Aaron.
Oh, no. You can go ahead. You can go right on to Aaron because the next topic is going to be we're going to pivot into the combine, see what defensive prospects we can draft or who stood out to Daniel. But joining us right now is Aaron, the youngster. Aaron, what's good, man?
What up, yo?
What's up, Aaron? I know you got a question for us. You always got a question.
As always, man. Shit. Where do I start?
Hey, I had that same question about 3:00. So take your time.
No, the whole contract, and then I saw PFF's damn post saying Lamar to Atlanta. I said, hell to the no. But, God.
You're pretty passionate about that, youngster.
Why you say it like that?
Yeah, man. You said that with your chest and then some, bro.
I'm good. I'm great. I'm all right, man. I'm all right with it.
All right.
I just want to know.
Shit. I mean, you stumped me.
Hey, that's what I do best.
Damn it, Smitty.
Hey, I get stumped more than anybody, but I got it.
The main reason that kind of got me on it is like how expensive he is. That's about it. But I mean, like you said, you bring in a superstar to a team. A lot of people are going to want to just play because of him. And yeah, I mean, I don't remember. Like CP was always trying to recruit people whenever he signed with the Falcons.
He still is.
He still is.
Right. He still is, man.
He said Lamar comes to the A, it'd be crazy. The city will be turned.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Let me tell y'all something about money. This is how much people care about money. I seen a lady on at Lenox Square about 3 weeks ago. Had a Louis Vuitton purse with some Air Force Ones. This is how I feel about money. That is the perfect example. Sometimes you got to buy that expensive stuff to make other stuff stand out, if you know what I mean. Until they spend their money on something expensive, buy that Bentley instead of that Volvo with 2 flat tires, they gonna keep having the same problem, man. I'm gonna just be real with y'all. Because if you don't have that one guy to draw more and more talent to a team, what good is your team at the end of the day?
Respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I've been saying all along. That's all.
Hey,
That's all.
Let's be realistic, bro. If Madden was like that, wouldn't more players have came in that time he was here?
Who that?
If Matt Ryan was like that, he would have had more people come. We really wasn't getting people coming
Matt
to
Ryan.
the 8 like that.
That's true.
I get what you're saying, but my point is something flashy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bentley is flashy.
Oh yeah, Lamar.
Louis
Yeah,
Vuitton
Lamar
first is
sure,
flashy.
sure.
Right. So until you get that type player, just like Deion Sanders, when he went to the 49ers, the very next year after he left here, what happened? They formed a super team.
Facts.
And mainly because of him to beat the Dallas Cowboys. So until they get that flashy player and they go beat up on the NFC and make it to the Super Bowl, it's just gonna be the same story. I just hate to tell y'all that because we don't have that flashy piece to put butts in seats, that flashy piece to draw more superstar talent here. It's just the truth. No way around it. But
true.
It is what it is. But
That makes
Aaron,
even
man,
more
before
sense for us to go for him, though. That's my thing. That's why I feel like Terry Fontenot, they still in the running, bro. I just don't see it. Like, if we go to the games, I went to 3 games this year. It's not packed.
Facts.
The tickets, the jersey sales, they're not going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kyle Pitts, AJ Terrell, some Grady Jarrett, but it's not crazy.
I looked at the Pittsburgh game on TV.
That's a new stadium.
I looked at the Pittsburgh game on TV. It was more Steelers fan than a Falcon fan.
It was. I was there.
It was.
It was. Me and Big Low was looking like, oh, come on, this ain't right, man. Where we at?
Yeah, that's true, man.
But Aaron, I know you got one more question before you go. If not, go ahead.
This might stump you. I'm not as good as question as Mike is because he's always on the dime. But if you had a decision between either you take Lamar Jackson, you traded Lamar Jackson for like 2 future round picks, or would you rather have, let's say, I don't know, Daron Payne for 2 first rounders and possibly bring in like Jesse Bates or even more just on top of that?
Anybody on the panel want to take that question?
Go ahead, Daniel. I saw it, Daniel. I got to put you on the spot, bro. What you doing?
Yeah, that's actually a very good question. That's a very good question. Again, it kind of links back to all that we've been talking to the whole time of how much do you value quarterback versus filling out the rest of your team, right? And so the thing is, I'm not sure financially they could make it work where they could bring in Payne and Jesse Bates, but in theory, if you do that, you're going to have a really good front seven and you're going to have a really good back end as well.
Yeah.
And when you factor in that Arthur Smith wants to run the football, the Falcons were the most run-heavy team in the NFL last year, maybe you take the Patriots approach of trying to, just pretty much showing up and saying, we're going to run the ball and then we're going to not let you score.
Yeah.
And I think they had a fair amount of success with that at times, I would say. But, it's really a good question. Typically, I would lean the quarterback route, but when you consider that you could legitimately fix the entire defense,
with just 2 players, that's sick.
Big, yeah.
Where's what's his name when we need him? Big Low.
Big Low, yeah.
He in the chat
Big
somewhere.
Low, he done took your job, man. But Aaron, thank you for joining us, man. We truly appreciate you always supporting us.
Appreciate you, Aaron.
But
Yeah,
I know you're gonna get back into chat, and I know you're gonna keep talking. But we'll holler at you soon, my brother.
All right, man. Peace, guys.
No doubt.
Definitely. Be safe, man.
Jay Boogie 209. Much love, y'all. Quick question. Do y'all think this could be a strategic move? Wait and see what others offer there or before going after Lamar. And if y'all don't know, he's referring to Deshaun Watson, what happened last year. They came in the very last minute with that guaranteed money. I mean, the very last minute. So could we be looking at the same thing with Lamar Jackson? It's possible.
It's possible.
One thing about history, it has a funny way of repeating itself one way or the other. And that is something that's going to always ring true. But let's get into this draft talk. We got about 10 more minutes. Let's get into this draft talk right fast.
Let's do it, man. Yes, sir. So Daniel, man, again, a contributor there at the combine. Defensive tackles were much on display this past week, man. A lot of freakish athletes were on display, man. So I asked you this quick question. Give me 3 of your top guys that you saw really elevate their stock in this whole process, man. Guys that we really haven't thought of, but they came to the comment like, wait a minute, this guy moves like this. There's something to work with here. So who do you have as your top 3 guys?
At defensive tackle?
At defensive tackle, please.
Right. So there is the Northwestern guy whose name I cannot pronounce.
I'm going to take pride in that one. Hold up, my brother. After much practice and Google Translate, Adetomiwa Adebawara off Northwestern. Floor is yours, Daniel.
You know what's sad about that? Is I actually had the full pronunciation guide in the media guide, and I looked at it for probably about a minute or two. And completely blanked on it. Yeah, Adetomiwa.
Yeah, Adetomiwa. That's right.
Gotcha.
Adebawara.
Yeah. So he ran 4.49.
As a defensive tackle?
As a defensive tackle, Smitty.
That boy got speed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He I'm not sure he's your prototypical defensive tackle, but I think he can absolutely play 3-tech, play 5-tech.
Right.
Whatever it might be. And he was also really good at the Senior Bowl too. So I think he's for sure a stock up player.
I could see him as a 3-4 defensive end too.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
He was unblockable, man. Truth be told, he was unblockable, man. And how Northwestern used him, them things were solid, brother. Them things were solid, man. But hey, listen, man. Truth be told, man, Northwestern, the way they used him as a movable chess piece on that front 4, he really wrecked hell. It didn't matter if he was outside defensive end or inside defensive tackle. For one, if we bring in, somebody at defensive tackle, say like we talked about earlier, Draymond Jones or Devlin Tomlinson, I wouldn't mind Atlanta trying to seek his services as a defensive end. He's 6'2". Yeah. I don't really care about the size or anything like that because that to me is irrelevant. We've had guys that are 6 feet and under, producing 15 and 16 sacks, and I'm talking about Elvis Dumervil of some years ago. But still, this guy can come in and really, 5'10",
5'10".
Yeah, this kid could come in and really, 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 really 180 that front 4 for our Falcons, man. So that's one name. Anybody else come to mind?
Yeah, real quick. There's a chat question. Somebody asked me how it was talking with Bijan Robinson.
Ooh, talk about it, Flo's yours, bro.
Yeah, throw it out there. Throw it out there,
man. Hell yeah. We want to know too, damn it. What'd you get?
He's a great kid. He's older than me, but I mean he's a great kid. Bijan, so he had a big press conference in front of probably 70, 80 people. Really, you could tell he was genuine. And the one thing that kind of stuck with me, he was always smiling. He was really upbeat about it. And that was not always the case throughout the week. It's a long week for all prospects there, especially the higher guys who are naturally having more formal interviews and everything. And it's a big rush, and they only get about 20 minutes with the media, sometimes 10, 15. He's really happy up there. And then I had a few other run-ins with him, kind of more individually. He walked by me one time, dapped me up a little bit. I made a joke to him. I was like, "Hey, future Falcon." He just started laughing about it. But then I saw him again probably about 3 hours after that. I walked by him in the lobby, and he actually remembered me from earlier. And again, guy's always smiling, really happy, really genuine. He really struck me as a really impressive human being. So obviously he's a freak on the field, and really a good guy off of it. So I'm not sure where he'll get drafted, but whoever gets Bijan is getting a really, really good player on the field, in the locker room, and all that. So
yeah,
complete package. Back to defensive tackles. Elijah Cansey. I feel like if you're talking combine defensive tackles, you got to start with him. He was well because he's undersized naturally, but
Grady Jarrett 2.0.
When everyone else is running 4.9 and you get a guy that runs 4.6 whatever,
4.67.
Yeah, naturally going to stick out quite a bit. Keanu Benton is the other name I want to talk about from
that's Alberto boy.
That's my boy right there, man.
He's a baller. Another guy, great Senior Bowl week. Very, very impressive there. And then I thought at the combine, he was actually probably one of the more nimble players there. Among his position group, all the drills that they had, whether it be running around a jump rope or not what is it? Running around a hula hoop. Yep. 3-cone drill. The hula hoop drill. All that stuff. Keanu, very impressive. Very, very loose ankles, I thought. Because they actually did that maybe about 20 yards from where media sat. So you could tell up close. I mean, very, very fluid guy. Very twitchy, I thought. Him and Brian Bruzzi from Clemson were probably the two most impressive guys in the field portion of the drills, I thought.
Wow.
Consistently really twitchy, really loose, really fluid, really powerful with their hands too, I thought. So they were a few of the guys that I thought stood out. Also,
did you get to see the Baylor defensive tackle while you were there? Because I haven't heard anyone talking about him.
Yeah, I got to watch him on the field, obviously. I didn't speak with him. On the field, the combine's not a great place for nose tackles, I feel like. Not a
true.
It was not his finest showing. I will say that. He was one of those guys where it's like you could tell that he wasn't really natural with the way that he was moving. The hula hoop drill was not kind to him. But again, how often are you going to ask your 330-pound nose tackle to turn a corner? Not
360.
Not very, In the right defensive scheme, hopefully never. But I thought he looked a little bit laterally challenged, but again, on the field, tape wise, he's probably one of the top 3-4 nose tackles.
Yeah, because short area quickness is totally different than them running drills at the combine. And I think short area quickness is his strength, so he'll be very effective against the run game at the next level. Is he a 3-down player? That we don't know yet. But continue.
Yeah, no, I just among the nose tackles there, I'm trying to think of who else was there because I think that was the first workout session that we had, and I watched a lot of hoop drills over the last few days. So there was a lot of guys there. Young, I think he's a 3-tech from Alabama. He was pretty impressive.
Brian
Young. Byron Young. Yeah. The other Byron Young from Tennessee, defensive end, also very impressive. I think he ran 4.49. He's very twitched up off the edge. Thought he was pretty loose. But that's branching a little bit outside. Other defensive tackles, man. Who else is this?
I got a name
from Michigan.
What's that?
Smith from Michigan.
Oh yeah. No, he's a freak. I mean, 6'9". I think he had a 3-cone that was the same time that Aiden Hutchinson ran last year, like 50 pounds.
Wow,
damn.
Wow, he's quick.
Yeah, he's a little freaky. So
yeah,
he had maybe 1 sack his entire college career, which is obviously a pretty concerning number. But I mean, again, probably a 3rd, 4th round pick. You're taking him for upside, right? And you're not going to find many 334-pound guys who can run a sub 7-second 3-cone. It's just not.
No, that's true.
I got one guy
to throw at you there, Daniel. Your thoughts on Zach Pickens, South Carolina defensive tackle? I thought that guy really elevated his stock. Could sneak into the back end of the 1st round. He had a very impressive combine. He had numbers.
People in my comments under my one of my videos kept throwing his name out there. Go ahead, Alberto.
A lot of his measurables were better than last year's 1st round pick, Trayvon Walker, man, and Zach Pickens, man. Oh, Pickens, I'm sorry. really turn heads in this combine over here. Like I mentioned, could come into that back first round, ran a 4.89, 6'4", 291 pounds. That's another guy there, Daniel. I don't know if you got to see him up close or you saw anything from him, but that's one guy there, man.
Yeah, I got to speak with Zach Pickens for probably 5 to 10 minutes at the combine. Just really, he just exudes energy. Exudes positive energy.
That's what you need.
He was telling us about how he had a formal with the Chicago Bears where they had him playing like putt-putt. And he's like, I had a college teammate who was like, it's all in the arms, all in the arms. He's like, I get up there and I make the first putt. And he's like, I was proud of that one. I played darts and I hit the first one. I was like, the guy in Chicago hit 0, so I guess I won, is what he said. No, he's a funny guy, high character. You can tell. I think he was a captain at South Carolina. All conference at South Carolina, which is a big deal, and grew into a big leader there. But then on the field, I thought pretty fluid guy. I hadn't watched his tape heading into the combine. I'm pretty excited to watch it now because I thought he had a lot of switch to him. Pretty explosive guy. Another guy, pretty fluid. The hoop drill was pretty kind to him. I remember that. So
cool.
I thought, I think he's another guy you can probably play in a few spots up front, which again, you got a guy with versatility, high character, athletic, team captain, checks a lot of boxes. So he's an interesting one, I feel like.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And, truth be told, Ryan Nielsen coming in from the Saints, he has an incredible, back history with the Saints, also known as a developer. So, all these guys mentioned, man, it'd be really exciting to see what Nielsen can do with these guys if they make it onto our roster there.
And we got to remember, Ryan, I was going to say, we got to remember Ryan is good at getting his defensive players to play multiple positions down the line of scrimmage.
Versatility is what we teach.
Davenport, they always doing that. Like when I can see a defensive end line up on both sides of the ball, I know something.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Even coming into the 3 technique as well. Cameron Jordan was lined up at D tackle sometimes.
He was, yep. Yes, he was.
And that's a plus. But right quick, if you had to take a pick, and now that you have broke it down like that, Jalen Carter might not be the move at number 8. With the defensive tackle being so deep in this draft, how many defensive tackle did you see the Falcons taking in this draft?
Me? Defensive tackles being taken by the Falcons. Yeah, I would expect. I think free agency will play a big part in it. Obviously, I'm going to go at least 1, but I think 1 is probably a safe number. Not to get too far off topic, but I think they probably end up drafting corner at 8. Probably.
Hey, any name come to mind?
Okay, look, I'm gonna lean towards Christian Gonzalez.
Hey, man. Absolutely, man.
The tricky part, too, is that the Lions are probably going to draft a corner 2 spots ahead, but knowing the way that they play and the way that the type of guys they value, I think they'll take Witherspoon from Illinois. If I had
wow.
To get
really? Witherspoon?
Again, we're
no, hell no. It's valid, man. That's valid, but wow.
And the reason why I think Detroit would go Witherspoon, they've had much more of a chance to see him than Christian Gonzalez, because Christian Gonzalez is on the West Coast. And Devon Witherspoon right next door in Chicago at Illinois University. So that would make a whole lot of sense.
But would fit their scheme better too.
Yeah.
Christian would fit our scheme better, to me personally.
Yeah, more man. Right.
Yeah.
On the topic of draft, I guess I can throw out one other thing for y'all. The Falcons have done a lot of work on the wideouts in that round 3 range. Round 3, round 4.
Throw out a name.
Throw out a name, brother.
Throw out a name. Xavier Hutchinson, Iowa State is one name that I know that they've done a lot of work on.
Wow.
There's a few others out there.
Zay Flowers?
You know what? Zay Flowers is being talked about as a potential wide receiver 1 off the board. He'll be a first round.
Imagine that.
I had him going to Green Bay. That just makes so much sense to me.
Yeah.
Green Bay makes so much sense.
Zay, Zay's another guy. I got to talk with Zay one-on-one for about 5 minutes at the Shrine Bowl. really good kid too. Just really, really focused. Really, I remember he was working out that week. He had one practice session at the Shrine Bowl. Everybody else had 4. He didn't play in the game. He didn't do any of that stuff. But he showed up. He did a bunch of interviews, and he was doing like team workouts and stuff, like individual workouts at like 10:30 at night in the Vegas hotel. Other people out partying, he's working out. So Zay Flowers, I'm a fan of Zay Flowers. I'll leave it at that.
That's dope, man.
Shout out, Let's Get It GA, man. Appreciate the donation.
Wow, man. Thank you so much, man.
Much respect and blessing to you as well, man.
Likewise,
always support me, man. We truly appreciate that donation.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man.
I think we can go to Papa John's and get us a 2 medium pizzas with that.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, bro.
Let's get ready to wrap this thing up, man. I seen a question about Jameis Winston. Would y'all bring him in for a backup?
I'm good on Jameis, man. I've seen enough. He needs a perfect scheme. He needs a good offensive coordinator. Arthur Smith isn't the coordinator for Jameis Winston, respectfully. And Jameis Winston and Arthur Smith is gonna argue every game. I promise you. So
Big Low Country. Yeah. Big Low, man, he do his thing from far and far away.
Yeah, man.
That Superman chat. And if y'all haven't noticed, I got a new nickname. My new nickname is Superhero Smitty. So if y'all can
oh man,
if y'all can just call me Superhero Smitty, I greatly appreciate that. Just like y'all call Deion Sanders Coach Prime, call me Superhero Smitty, and I'm fine with it.
Man, Superhero Smitty.
Man, but man, this has been a great show, man. I definitely appreciate you for coming on, Daniel.
Man.
Shout out to Alberto, man, for reaching out to you, man. Alberto doing this thing. And free agency starting next week. But before I get into that, man, please go in the description section. And please, everybody that was on the people that support us on the daily is in the chat. I'm sorry, description of this video. Please hit that link, hit that subscribe, and follow these guys. I finally got my nephew Twisted Torch to join us, man.
Yeah, man. We gotta collab some more, man.
For sure, man. Anytime, bro.
Twisted Torch TV. And we're gonna have a super show next week.
Yes, sir.
Twisted Torch. Daniel, y'all welcome to come. It's going to be the free agent frenzy. We're gonna have a ball, man. Trust me.
Man. We're trying to get this screen as big as possible, man. Just have everybody come in, just chime in, give us their thoughts on, but by then we'll know who we're targeting because of, again, tampering period opens Monday night. But that leaves the floor open to talk shit all Tuesday night when before free agency starts. So, man, for sure, we would love to have both of you gentlemen back on. Man, thank you to everybody for making this show tonight a success, man. Everybody in the chat, man. There's so many of y'all, but from the bottom of Smitty's heart, my heart, man, we appreciate you 100, man. Thank you for rocking with us. Daniel, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. And, man, over an hour and 15 minutes, brother, man. It was supposed to be like 45 minutes, and you stretched it out another half, man. We appreciate that wholeheartedly, man, for sure, man. Keep doing your thing.
I'm in trouble, but I'm gonna take one for the team.
Shit, man. But definitely, man, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, man. Thank you for all the contributions you do and keeping Twitter updated on all things Falcons related news, man. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely, brother. Everybody, this is Daniel Flick, contribute for Sports Illustrated and 404 podcast of the Falcons. Much appreciated you dropping in, man, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Take care, man.
Our boy Daniel Flick, man. He tuned in and joined us, man. Took time out of his busy schedule, man. He was in Indianapolis doing his thing, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, shouts out to you, man.
That's what I love, man, to see. I love to see people start young, man, because they can grow old in the sports business. Me, I'm just grow old, period. So the hell with it.
My favorite combine story is I got back Saturday night and then I slept 13 and a half hours Sunday morning in the sun.
Damn.
Yeah.
I can't even get 5 hours consistent. Like,
talk about it, Twisted.
What?
Man, if I sleep 8 hours, that would be too much for me.
It was definitely too much. I was a little bit tired. It was a long week. Long week, but a lot of fun. So
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. love what you do, man. Love your job, and it becomes a hobby.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
man.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I appreciate
Thanks, man.
But Twisted Torch, man, Big No Country said you got more swagged out Atlanta Falcons content. And he's right.
Yeah.
He bring the
Just
swag.
saying,
Y'all
man.
see,
Hey, hell
y'all see
yeah,
it in the
man.
background. He got stop signs, flags, everything.
Hey,
So,
it's finna change too. I got some more stuff on the way.
Damn. Can't wait to see that, man.
I think
Man,
I'm
for
gonna
those
just
that haven't
keep this.
tuned in, man, that's energy from opening segment to closing segment. It's all energy, man.
That's
All
what I'm
good
talking
energy
about.
too, man, for sure.
That's what it's supposed to be about. But before we get out of here, man, I got to give a shout out to Giving Game Sports Talk. Y'all, please, he just started his YouTube channel. He's going to try to jump on with us soon.
Definitely, man.
You see what he say? Listen, I got out of bed to come and listen to you guys. Much love, you guys.
Appreciate you, man.
Please
Appreciate
go
you.
subscribe to Giving Game Sports Talk. He talks Falcons football. He does his thing, and as y'all know, I try to support each and every content creator that I can.
Facts.
Keep it positive. And another guy I want to give a shout out to Dre True Statement.
Always tuning in.
That's my dog.
Hey, Dre knows I'm with the ignorance, and I stay with the ignorance, so he's been supporting me since I had 40 subscribers. And this is a true story. Miss Carrie, we've been trying to get her to come on the show. Hopefully she'll join us soon.
Knowledge, man.
That's my Twitter homie. What's up,
Carrie's the best, man.
Hey, man, she does her thing.
Carrie, I know you're tuning in. I know you're watching. I hope all is well with family, and she knows what I mean by that.
Oh, no doubt. You're right, no doubt. Family is everything, man. Family is everything.
Be safe.
But Alberto, I hate for it to come to an end. Like I said, I'm already in trouble. So hey,
I hear you, man. It is,
but
what it is, man.
Please go to carry us. Oh, one more. I swear.
There they are.
One more.
Them boys, man. Falcon Mind.
Hey,
yes, sir.
Falcon Mind podcast. Please go check them out on YouTube as well. They do their thing. They keep us informed. They keep us with the last. Hey, man, they pretty much like we is, man. They just
they all around great, man.
And Mike, y'all don't run across Mike in public, boy, because he will throw a question on you and you will pass out before you get the answer.
Oh shit, man. Oh man. Yes, sir.
Smitty, Big No Country, Berto, Atlanta, Georgia faithful. Keep putting the A on the map, and that's what we're trying to do. Let's get
absolutely, man.
And y'all please go check him out on YouTube as well. He does gaming. So and I need some tips in Madden because I'm pretty awful right about now. Because I'm just not good at Madden anymore like I used to be. Too many damn buttons.
That's me. Come holler at me. I'm good. Come holler at me on Xbox.
Okay. Oh, I got a PlayStation, but it is what it is, man.
Y'all are crazy,
but
man.
go to take us out, man.
Hey, man. So for everybody in the chat, thank you again for tuning in. For the panel, man, Daniel, Twisted Torch, appreciate you guys. You guys are like family now, man. Appreciate you guys for coming and collaborate with us. Hope it is not the end. Of course, we're coming back on Tuesday night. Open invite as always, fellas. So on that note, for my boy Smitty, this is your boy Berto. You're hosting the 95 North Falcons talk show.
Hey,
we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Go ahead.
Cheerleaders?
Huh? What'd you say?
Some cheerleaders.
I mean, I can't comment on that, bro.
Oh, my bad. Hey, sister-in-law, my bad.
Oh, man. Hey, man. Y'all have a great night. We'll catch you on the flip side. Peace. Damn.